There are so many Clan Boss teams now that content creators and players have come up with, but you probably haven't heard of this one unless you've been watching my channel. It's great though. It's called the Pain Eater, and in this video, I have some previous footage from when I was working on this team from Brutal and Nightmare. And then at the end of the video, I'll be finishing up today with my new Ultra Nightmare version of this team. And we will go over all of that in this video today. I'm very excited to share this with you guys. Additionally, I think that this is the best Brutal Unkillable team in my opinion, because it's very reasonable to hit all the speeds, and it does require you have 3 champions, but honestly, a lot of people do have these 3 champions, and then you can build up to Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare, which you're going to see in the video as well. So enjoy, and then I will be back at the end of the video to wrap up my thoughts on this team as a whole and everything. So let's jump into it. Here's the intro, and then we'll get into our brutal version. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here, and we are going to be going over my new Clan Boss team. It is a sweet Unkillable team, and I am very pleased to be sharing this with you. So, we will go over all the stats and everything, but just to give you a quick once over here, we are going to be using Leorius and Bad L for our damage dealers. We are going to be using Man-Eater, Warcaster, and Painkeeper to get our Unkillable buffs up. Okay. Now, this team has a different rotation, just like most teams do, for each boss. Okay. I do not have these champions all fully leveled up yet, nor do I have them geared very well. When I was flipping through there, you probably saw some level 8 gear, etc., and that is because I have no silver. So what we're going to do here today is I'm going to go over the rotation for you. So let's jump in here, and you do not want to start on auto. With these teams like this, you need to, you definitely need to manual the first couple turns, okay? So, basically what we're going to do is we're going to A1 all of our champions on the first turn of the game. Which is actually turn 0. But don't think about it like the turns. Think about it like how many turns each champion gets, because sometimes you're going to be getting more than 1 turn, okay, per turn of the Clan Boss. Now, this is Warcaster's second turn, so he's going to A2, or he's going to A1 again. Man-Eater's going to A1 again. Painkeeper's going to A1 again. Leorius, I usually do the A3 here because that has a chance to get the weaken. Now, this is Warcaster's third turn, so he is going to hit the block damage. Bad L can cleanse all of these poisons off, and Man-Eater can A1 again. Painkeeper is going to A1 again. Now, everyone is not unkillable yet, so Warcaster can do whatever, Leorius can do whatever. Man-Eater on his 4th turn is going to hit the unkillable. Painkeeper on her 4th turn is going to do an A1. A1 from Bad L, A1 from Warcaster. None of that matters. We can A2 or A1 from Man-Eater, that doesn't matter. Now, on Painkeeper's 5th turn, she's going to A2. And then on Painkeeper's 6th turn, she's going to decrease the cooldown of the skills, and then we can hit auto. Now, once we decrease the cooldown of the skills, Warcaster is going to have his A3 available, and then we can hit auto here. Then once it comes back around, we should be getting Maneater's Unkillable there. And then once we are able to complete a full rotation back around, then Painkeeper is going to decrease the cooldowns again, and then Warcaster will start the Unkillable cycle, and then we should be in sync. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to come back around, and Maneater's Unkillable is on right there. Now we should be in sync, and we should be able to let this go. But I want to make sure, because if you mess up any of those abilities, it will not be in sync, and you will need to start your rotation over again. It's like a learning curve, right? You have to get the abilities down, in addition to getting the team built correctly, okay? Now, the most important thing with these Unkillable teams are the speeds. The speeds, you have to follow the pattern listed, and usually I use Deadwood Jedi's site, but I do need to message him because the pattern that he had written down is actually not correct for this video, so hopefully he will list this video on his site for some helpfulness in setting this rotation up, okay? What I will do is I will go through the rotation next for Nightmare, and then Ultra Nightmare as well, so that you can have all of the different rotations, but the other ones are easier, okay? The Brutal one takes more turns to get in sync, and then as you get higher and higher, the Nightmare one takes less turns, the Ultra Nightmare one takes less turns. So now we will survive all the way until turn 50, so you can build your Unkillable team with way less requirements than what most people think. You know, I've only been, this account, you know, was logged in and played on a little bit before I got it, but for the most part, the work on the account has been done by me. So we have 14.1, 14.11, and as you can see, Leorius did 4.7, he's a beast. Bad L did 4.5, so actually Leorius did more damage than Bad L, which is pretty crazy. And then Maneater did 3.7. Maneater can be a very good damage dealer for you. Warcaster and Painkeeper, they just did their minimal damage, right? So let's take a look at the speeds. The speeds are going to stay the same no matter what boss you're using for this Pain Eater composition. So let's go with the fastest champion, which is going to be Warcaster at 245. Now, with this team, you don't have any options. They have to be exactly these speeds from what I've found. If you have other information, let me know in the comments below. If you're going to build this or you have another team, let me know in the comments below as well. So Warcaster at 245, and as you can see here, level 8 gear, the only thing that's leveled up is the boots because that's the speed. We had to hit that first. The second champion is going to be the Maneater, and he's at 241. I was able to build a little bit of crit stats on him, a little bit of attack. Like, he does have crit damage gloves, but one of the main reasons we used them was for the speed. He does have an attack percentage chest, but again, with the speed, and then the boots are fully leveled up. The helmet is actually one of my best pieces of gear on the account. We have 2 quad rolls already. One was on camera. We got the quad accuracy roll, and I think that this one was off camera. So 2 pretty awesome pieces of gear here for these 2. But, you know, obviously we don't have the gear choices to get all of the stats we want. The third champion is going to be Painkeeper, and she's at 215. She does have crit rate gloves, so once I get enough silver to level that up, and maybe this crit damage amulet, the ring, etc., like, Her gear is probably the worst of any champion, but her damage potential is very low. The next champion is Leorius, and I wish that they went in the opposite order. If Battle went first at 174, and then this was Leorius at 173, it would actually increase Leorius's damage because of Battle's passive here. More damage against targets under poison. However, this was the speed that he was actually at, was 174, and I didn't want to mess with his gear. So it's a little bit not perfect here, but as you can see, Bad L's gear is not leveled up either. So we have 245, 241, 215, 174, 173. And where you choose to put your champions is important, but your damage dealers have to be these lower two. Okay, all three of these have to be those exact damage dealer, or those exact speeds, excuse me. So let's go ahead over here to Nightmare and go over the rotation here. I'm not going to let it run the whole time, but I will let it run so that you can see that it's unkillable. Because we don't need to spend that time. Also, you don't need to see the embarrassingly low amount of damage. It's going to be under 10 million, though, I will tell you that. So you're going to follow the same rotation with the A1, A1, A1. And when I'm doing this on my own, I just say 1, 1, 1. And that helps me keep track of how many turns they've each had. Then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say 2, 2, 2. But this time on Nightmare, I'm going to put up the block damage here. And on his second turn, he's going to A1. On her second turn, she's going to A1. Leorius can do whatever. And Warcaster can do whatever. Bad L, let's start getting some poisons on there. Now, this is Maneater's third turn, and he's going to put up the Unkillable now instead of on his fourth turn. Painkeeper's third turn, she is going to A1. Warcaster doesn't matter. Leorius doesn't matter. Bad L doesn't or Maneater doesn't matter. Bad L doesn't matter. Now on Painkeeper's fourth turn, normally on Brutal she would do her A1 here, but we're going to accelerate it. Basically, we're cutting a turn off of the rotation. We're cutting a turn off. Now, you have to make sure that she doesn't get stunned there, so that will involve tweaking your HP and defense amounts. That is very important that she does not get stunned there. And then once we hit this, then we should be good to hit auto. And then Warcaster's going to go there. And then Maneater should be getting 2 turns on this cycle, I believe. And he will put up the Unkillable as well. Good. Now, once he puts up that Unkillable, we should be good to go. So, let's just double check here. Painkeeper is unkillable. Oh, because it's not turn 7 yet. Okay, now we're unkillable, and I believe we should be in sync after turn 7 here. Goes to turn 50 without her being protected, as long as you have the HP totals correct. Because we are guiding the stun target to not her. Or maybe, there it is, 13.54. That's actually good. I'm actually really surprised. That's almost the same amount of damage that we dealt on Brutal. Oh, you see here, the higher we go up, the more damage Bad L's going to do, because the more the poisons are going to do. That's interesting. But these two did almost exactly the same amount of damage. Everybody did almost the same amount. Huh. That is very interesting. So, I did not intend to spend a key on Nightmare today, but if we are able to do that, then that's a 3 key on Nightmare, which, okay, I'm pleased with that. Okay, so now we're here on Ultra Nightmare. I suppose I should click off just so that you can see that we're on Ultra Nightmare. We're on Ultra Nightmare, and I have finally upgraded Feign and Geomancer to put them in the team. I've mentioned that in a couple videos, but now they are a part of my team. They have masteries, they have levels. Geomancer's almost fully leveled up, and I've been pretty impressed with the damage. Leorius and Bad L were really helpful, but now I've rebuilt Leorius for my arena team. He could still be improved. I need to rebuild Bad L as well. He's on my list of champions to rebuild once I find a couple gear pieces for him. But this is the Ultra Nightmare team, but the speeds are still the same, okay? 245, 215, or wait, excuse me. 245, 241, 215, and then 173, 174. I forget which one I have which, but at the end of the video here, we'll go over the gear that I have on them currently, as well as, you can double check their speeds there. But let's go ahead over the rotation here for Ultra Nightmare. So the very first turn in Ultra Nightmare, you're going to get to put up the block damage. You're going to A2 or A1 with Maneater. You're going to A1 with Painkeeper. Then the clan boss is going to go here. I like doing Feign's A3 first. That doesn't really matter. I like doing Geo's A3 first. That doesn't really matter. And then Warcaster's ability does not matter. Maneater has to A3 here. Painkeeper has to A2 here. Nice counterattack there. Warcasters does not matter. Feign I like to A2, but, it doesn't really matter. Maneater has to A1. Geo doesn't matter. Then Painkeeper is going to A1. So she goes A1, A2, A1. And then on her next turn, she will A3. Now, you do have to guide the stun for the first couple turns so that it does not hit either Warcaster or Painkeeper. Because if it hits them, then it's going to put them out of sync. So you do have to guide the stun in the first couple turns here. And we have to guide the stun on this next turn as well, but you can hit auto. Not this turn, the turn after this, I believe. They will be vulnerable again before we are fully unkillable until turn 50. So wait till this unkillable falls off. Then we'll need to guide the stun one more time. And let's see here. We're just letting it run on auto, making sure that we're unkillable. Stun goes to Maneater, perfect. And then it did not go to Painkeeper. See, she was vulnerable here. And now once we do that, we are unkillable till turn 50. Okay, so we, with this team and this gear, have put this to a 3-key Ultra Nightmare in less than a month on this account. I am so impressed with the progression that we've had on this account so far. And this team has been great. I mean, obviously, I have some wonderful clan boss champions here. All 5 of these are very common, very powerful champions for the clan boss. But, you have other options, okay? You do not have to use Feign and Geomancer. That can be anyone you want. Like, I'm not sure that you can use an ally attack here because I think that'll mess with the speeds on Painkeeper. I don't think you can use a counterattack either for that reason. If you run this and you run an ally attack or a counterattack, please let me know in the comments below. Additionally, we're going to see what the damage is here after turn 50, and we'll skip ahead here in a second. But you can use any poisoners, any damage dealers that you have on your account, as long as you have Maneater, Warcaster, and Painkeeper. I think you should be able to slot Demitha in place of Warcaster for this team, But if you have Demitha and Maneater, you should just build the Myth Eater Clan Boss team, which is a different team. That way you don't need the Pain Keeper for this team. You can just run a third DPS. So that is an option. I do have her as well, so I might rebuild that down the line. And see what we can do with that team or a different team. You know, I would love to get Sir Nick into a Clan Boss team. I think that'd be really fun when the dupe system comes out. You know, there's a lot of options, but for now, I'm very, very pleased with this 3 key. So let's go ahead and skip ahead to the end of the fight, and then I'll come back in here with you at that time, and we'll wrap it up. If you have questions on the rotation, please let me know in the comments below. But I will post the link to MtgJedi's site in the description of this video so that you can have the turn order in written form. Okay, so let's go. Alright, so we're coming to the end of the fight here, turn 48, and we've passed the 3 key minimum, which is 24 23, 24 million. We want to get over 70 million for the 3 key. And last night on stream, we ended at 28.14. So today, this is going to be a little bit lower on Void here, but still more than enough wiggle room, 26.52. And you can see the majority of the damage coming from Geomancer here. So if you have Geomancer, definitely slot him in. Fane doing a considerable amount of damage, and she's not even in the best damage gear. And then, you know, pretty minimal average amount of damage from the other 3 unkillable champions. Just to go over them with you real quick here. We have the Warcaster's total stats, very important, 245 again. And then, you know, I really don't have good gear on him. It's just the speeds. So my goal is to get him to 100% crit rate, put some more crit damage on him. I will be working on that. Let's see, the Maneater is not bad stat-wise. He is at 241, must be. We need to improve his crit rate now that we don't have the crit rate aura. Okay, so that is from the previous build. We had the crit rate aura. Although, you know what? I guess this crit rate aura does count on Warcaster. Void crit rate in all battles. So we can actually build them with 77? Yeah, 77% crit rate. And so if we just get Maneater's crit rate up a little bit more, 10 more, then he will have 100% crit rate there from Warcaster. We do have some crit damage, and again, I've been loving the accuracy for other content in the game. So you have his stats there. Fane, here is her stats. They're not bad. Okay, they're not bad, but we'd like to get this to 100. We'd like to get this up. We still need to keep the accuracy. Her attack is pretty low as well. We'd like to work on that. But like we have a random speed piece that we'd love to switch to Cruel. And that would give a big boost. We have the 4 accuracy pieces. The nice double counterattack pieces here are great, but eventually this is going to need to be crit damage as well. Pain Keeper actually has not bad stats, all things considered. She does have some crit rate and crit damage. She is Void, so she's getting that crit rate buff as well. But she's not going to do great damage. Eventually, I'd love to move her into a poison set. So that's something I'm going to be looking for so that we can start filling up the debuff bar more. And, you know, her damage is pretty minimal anyway. That 215 speed is key. And then Geomancer, I've just done my best to, you know, get him to where he needs to be. I'm trying to get him with a higher HP total so he gets targeted sometimes. But the main damage is coming from his passive on this. So he is at the accuracy and speed that he needs. You can see he's the slowest one. Now, all of these guys have pretty similar masteries here. Where do I need to be? On the right side. Okay, good. OBS has been taking a while to switch over there. So we'll do Nobody else. Okay, so then the mastery's here, and then I need to flip to the middle. That is for Painkeeper. And then the mastery's on Feign. Apparently I do not have 100% finished, but we will go right here. Master Hexer, okay. I've been wondering as well about Geomancer with Master Hexer instead of the counterattack. So let me know. I think that would be best, but I have not changed his masteries yet. Here's Maneaters, very similar, and Warcasters, very similar. Okay, now all of these champions are booked. Do I have Geomancer fully booked now? No, we're missing one book on the cooldown. Okay, so that will actually improve our damage quite a bit with the HP burn. But all the rest of these are booked? Yes. And then Maneater and Warcaster obviously have to be booked here. So let me know, what do you think about this sweet Pain Eater team? I've been very pleased with it. It's been fun to build. It's been fun to progress. You were able to see some real progression in what I started with versus what I ended with. And it's a constant work of improving what you have in order to make it a little bit better as you can. Get a new champion slotted in, get some new gear, re-gear them. And that's how you improve your clan boss team. So hopefully this video is helpful if you're watching this at the time of uploading or down the road. Either way, thank you so much for watching. I'm MtgJedi. Check out some other videos on my channel. And until then, I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy this clan boss team. Let me know everything in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.